A terrible scene shuts down an interstate for about 9 hours.
And now we're hearing from one of the first people to respond to that deadly crash. 32-year-old Eric Irvin was killed and 2 others were hurt. We were telling you about this all morning long yesterday. This happened on I-72 near Argenta. That's where Irvin was pulled over on the side of the road when he was hit. He was helping a driver repair his truck. Then another semi ran into both of them, killing Irvin and hurting the other 2. We spoke with Argenta Fire Chief Kurt Mitchner. He was the first from his department to get there. He says this crash is a reminder of the importance of the move over law.
It's just actually ridiculous that somebody can't take 15 or 30 seconds out of their day to pull over and slow down to a reasonable speed so that you could actually save somebody's life. I mean, it happens every day in this state that people are just in too big a hurry and can't get over.
The driver who caused the crash was ticketed for failing to yield to a stopped car and for not slowing down to avoid a crash. Scott's Law, or the Move Over Law, requires drivers to give enough space between them and someone who's pulled over. That means if you see someone on the side of the road, switch to a different lane if you can and slow down to a safe speed. A good rule of thumb, they say, is to drive the same speed you'd want someone else to use if they were passing you.
New this morning, Decatur firefighters are working to learn why a home caught fire. Those firefighters responded to this home on the 900 block of East Garfield. They posted this video to social media this morning. We are working to learn whether any people or pets were home at the time. Please stay with WCIA on air and online as we continue to follow this story.
Check this out right here. We are completely clear now on the drought monitor. This was just released late yesterday morning, and it showed that every area here across central Illinois not only doesn't have no moderate drought conditions, but we don't have any abnormally dry soil conditions either. So we're looking okay on there. We got some more rain on the way, so it might help to keep those type of conditions around for us here for maybe some time. Charleston, good morning to us. Getting out there, maybe getting that morning run right there. Feels a lot more comfortable than what we had back in July, that's for sure, on your Roofing All Guy Net First Mid weather camera. Currently sitting around the lower 60s and upper 50s in a lot of our locations. 56 in Champaign, mid 60s in St. Louis, around 62 in Quincy, with a lot of those clear skies that are around for us right now. But we expect to see some more of those clouds as we head later on into the day tomorrow. Today, though, looks like another beautiful day with high pressure in control. We don't have to worry about any sort of rain. We're going to see those temperatures warm just slightly more than where they were yesterday as we get back up closer to the 80-degree mark. So things quiet for today, not so quiet over the weekend, and not so comfortable either as the heat and humidity begin to tick up. We'll talk about that here in a bit. Christy?
Thanks, Adam. The governor is planning to reform the state's entire juvenile justice system. He's moving away from large prison-like detention centers to smaller community-based operations. The current system can take young people from their families and send them to different corners of the state. 40% of those in juvenile centers come from central Illinois, but they are taken to either southern or northern Illinois to be held. Experts say that experience can make kids feel like there's no other option once they're there.
Young people who had been affected by the system said in that context, too, that they felt like prison was something that society expected of them. When you're put in a congregate care setting that is very large like that, and you're incarcerated as a young person, you begin to develop that identity. And really, that's the last thing that any of us should want.
In the past 20 years, the state has already shut down 3 of these juvenile detention centers. The governor has not yet announced if the other 5 facilities would be closed or converted for another use for the state.
It's a nerve-wracking time for parents wondering what their kids' education will look like this school year. Families in Champaign got new details learning all students will start at home. Now for parents, teachers, and students, the school year will be an adjustment. But with the switch to entirely virtual learning, some families are scrambling to figure out what to do next. There are options for childcare, and La Petite Academy in Champaign is just one of them.
We are not elementary school teachers. We are early childhood educators. We are here to facilitate the logins and the staying on task. In the meantime, also filling their days with activities that they can do and get outdoor play.
And Champaign's YMCA is also structuring its care around remote learning. A Champaign barber shop is under scrutiny by community members, and it's now sitting empty.
The shop was at the middle of a Black Lives Matter protest last month after workers required customers to sign a written notice declaring they weren't members of Black Lives Matter or Antifa and other groups. WCIA3's Karina Rubio is live outside of Rogue Barbershop this morning with more. Good morning, Karina.
Good morning, Christy. We drove past Rogue Barbershop this morning, and that's when we noticed that the sign is still up, but the inside of the business is empty. You may remember last month the owner announced he was going to make it a members-only club, but you couldn't be a member if you were a part of Black Lives Matter and other certain groups. People gathered outside the shop to protest. Someone who walked out of the barbershop got in his truck and drove through those protesters. We still don't know if the business is shutting down completely or just moving to a new location, but we will keep you updated as we learn more. Reporting live in Champaign, Karina Rubio, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Well, working during a pandemic is hard, but playing football safely may be even harder to do.
Still to come in the 6 o'clock hour of the morning show, what type of precautions the Illini are taking during practice. But before we go, here's Adam with a look at your weekend forecast. Hey, Adam.
Hey there, Maxwell. The skies, they're going to become a bit more cloudy. We'll go up into the mid and upper 80s for highs during the weekend, too. And then we'll see some of the 90s possibly by Monday. A lot more storm chances. Now, these are not going to be providing all-day washouts, but they will be at least providing more of a muggy air mass than what we have been dealing with recently. But we got one more day of the pleasant weather that looks to be around here this afternoon as we just barely get up to 80 and see that humidity stay relatively low. We'll talk more about the weekend and the rain chances next week coming up during the 6 a.m. hour, so join us here and keep it right here.